I was really hoping all of my trees would survive this fungus that they caught, but I'm pretty certain that this tree has died, so I'm going to test it, see it, if it survived. Do a chunk chop on it, and hopefully it's alive. It feels alive. I'm going to seal this. I've done this before with my trees that I thought were dead. And it's worked. That the ones that were alive had bud back, so I'm hoping it'll bud back here. The reason I'm doing this is because of all my trees that had this fungus that I defoliated. This tree still hadn't produced any new buds, and then if you look at the tops of these branching, they're all black, so they kept dying. You see here, all of these kept dying, and so I believe this wood here is alive. So this hardwood cutting here, I'm going to stick this in the soil. I've been able to produce trees like that before, so what I'll do is I'll cut this off and cut that off, and I'll scrape it. What I'll do is I'll scrape a little like this, and then if it wants to live, it's going to have to prove it, distress it a little bit. And I've actually produced trees like this. I have a one root cutting I produced like this, and a couple of maple trees that rooted. So I'll stick this in the soil. All right, so over here, this is a sweet gum that I'm growing from seed. So what I'll do with this hardwood cutting is I'll just stick it right in the soil, right there. And if it wants to be a tree, it'll have all the opportunity. Now, this right here, I'm gonna identify later, see what it is. It's possible that it is an American elm. But this here is a sweet gum, the big one. I don't know what this is. This is a new one. And I'll turn you a little bit to here. I'll have to point this out because it's really hard to see. Right here, I have a pine. I've been making sure that when I'm out doing yard work that I leave that alone. I gotta trim the grass down around it a little bit, and so that I can see it easier. I don't forget that it's there. So I'll cut these weeds away so they don't swallow it up. So that it rained. I think it rained non-stop for 3 days. Well, of course it stopped a little bit, but it was just a downpour for 3 days in our area. So I'm gonna leave that there. These are the only 2 trees that I have that aren't potted. I potted all the rest of my trees that were in my little mobile nursery, which I'll show you that. So there. So what I'm gonna do with that, I'll put some lava rocks around it so that won't make the mistake of accidentally running it over with a weed whacker or something. All right, so this is the huge forest planting that I did a couple of days ago. And all of the trees that are in here are doing great. Now, I did make a mistake. While the majority of these trees are red and maple, I actually planted 2 sweet gum trees in the middle of it. But this is America, and anybody that goes into the woods knows that we have mixed forests here, primarily sweet gum, maple, pine, and so it's no big deal. If they survive, I will leave it so. But these trees really did well with the transplanting into this pot. I think this is a beautiful pot for these trees, and most of them have been in the same pot since they sprouted. They were in 3, 4 different pots or so, and now they're all in this one. And I think this is going to be a glorious forest group. I've never seen so many trees in one pot, and of course with most of my trees, they're brand new trees. You know, I have about a little over 100 trees now, which I never really planned to have that many. I show you my 2 originals, which is this one and this sweet gum here. These trees they sprouted in 2019, and this one is a cutting from that big one over there, and it's been in this pot since 2020. I have no plans on repotting it. I am going to trim it soon and then reposition it, and that is a cutting from this. That's actually 2 cuttings from this, and so is the little one there. But the Chamaecyparis specifera is way over 10 years old. It was a nursery before I put it in this resin pot over there. It was just it was nursery, and I wanted to take it with me when I moved, so I dug it up and potted it. I even have got a little whiskey barrel, miniature whiskey barrel planting with a lava rock. We're doing good. All right, let's wish. I put him out here on this bench, so we'll have to wish this baby luck. Hopefully he'll bud back and be able to fight off that virus like his brothers and sisters did. You'll have a nice evening.